When you're working in Illustrator, you know that you can define guides to help you keep your artwork in alignment, how to make sure that things line up correctly, and also to help you stick within some kind of a design grid. Now, one of the nice things about Illustrator is that if you unlock your guides, you can really position and adjust your guides as if they were regular objects. For example, I'm going to go to the View menu, and I'm going to choose Guides, and then I'm going to choose to turn off the Lock Guide settings. That allows me to actually click on a guide to select it. And you notice that in the Transform panel, I have coordinates of where those guides are lined up. Now I'm going to click over here on this artboard to make this the active artboard, and you can now see that the x-coordinate for this guide right here that I have selected is at 20 pixels. If, for example, I wanted to have that guide line up at 60 pixels, I can simply highlight this value, type in 60 and hit return, and I've now precisely positioned that guide in a location. I'm going to press undo though. Once you have your guides in place, you can just easily go ahead and lock the guides, and that way you're ensured that they won't move again. Another way to access the lock guide settings is to hold down the control key and then click on the artboard if you're on a Mac. Or if you have your 2-button mouse, you can actually just right click. If you're on Windows, just right click. And that brings up the contextual menu where you can choose lock guides. Now I already have guides set up here, and it happens to be that I have the grid set up in the same way that I want my slices to end up. In other words, the way that the guides are currently set up are also going to define the divs or the regions that I want my web page to be split up into. So rather than try to struggle about creating these slices by using the slice tool, I could tell Illustrator to find all the areas where there are guides and to use that as a way or as a blueprint to define the divs or the slices for this document. So let's see how to do that. I'm simply going to come up over here to the Object menu. I'm going to choose Slice, and then I'll choose Create from Guides. Notice I have nothing selected right now, but when I choose this option, Illustrator will now automatically define slices based on the boundaries of where all these guides are. And because I have the setting where if I go underneath the Object menu here and I choose Slice, I see that it's set to Clip to Artboard. My overall table that's being created by these slices is clipped to the artboard itself. So if you take the time to actually set up your guides, you can very easily convert those guides into slices as well. But I'll tell you that while this is actually a lot nicer than using the manual adjustments, there's even a more efficient way inside of Illustrator to create slicing, something which we call object-based slicing. That's something that we'll cover in the next movie.